Hey everybody, this is Dr. Swanson. This is a welcome video for COMM 361, Principles of Public Relations, to give you a little bit of idea of what to expect in the class and to kind of help you get familiar with the titanium page, because the titanium page is going to be really important to what we do. Okay, Principles of Public Relations, what's it all about? Most of you are communications majors. Most of you are in the public relations concentration, so you are going to work in the public relations field in the future, and that's great. There are some of you in this class who are not going to work in public relations per se, and that's great too, because I approach this class from the idea or the perspective of public relations is everywhere in our world. It's everywhere. Public relations is about building a relationship between people and organizations. Think about Cal State Fullerton, for example. There's a lot of communication that comes out from the organization, Cal State Fullerton, to build a relationship with you. And likewise, the thoughts and actions that you have and take toward Cal State Fullerton help build that two-way relationship where you're getting something from the university and you're giving something back, and not just your tuition dollars. And that's what public relations is all about. It's about building positive, mutually beneficial relationships between people and organizations. PR happens inside organizations, it happens on the outside of organizations. This is going to be a very interesting semester to study public relations because we have Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is in many ways a genius in terms of manipulating the media, and he's also an ignoramus when it comes to understanding concepts of public relations. So we'll have a lot of fun with Donald Trump this semester because he truly is a very fascinating person to watch, to observe. He has learned a lot about how to manipulate the media. He is a master at that. But in terms of manipulating the media ethically and following the concepts of public relations, not so much. We'll talk more about him later. So anyway, what I want you to do is look through the titanium page and get familiar with what we've got on there. At the very top of the page, I've got three little mini lists. The first one is the things you need to review right away at the beginning of the class to know where everything is, like the introductory materials and the background information, know how to find where I'm going to post announcements and where I'm going to post frequently asked questions and those sorts of things. That's all right at the top, that list at the beginning of titanium. You're going to be involved in a pre-test and a post-test and online tests throughout the class. So we'll talk more about that on the first day of class, but I want you to see where that stuff is. And then the subjects follow in titanium in the order that we will deal with them in the calendar. So my recommendation is print off a copy of the syllabus and the calendar and use that as you go along through the class. I'm not going to distribute printed copies in class because we'll have it on the overhead to look at, and you can look at the copy anytime you need to online. So I'm not going to kill any trees and print copies for class, but you can get it there if you need it. So it's really important to look at that syllabus right off the bat so you get a sense of what's going on here. We'll go over it in class on the first day. You will notice there's an item in the first little mini list called Join a Team. You probably looked at that and went, there's going to be teamwork in this class. Yes, there is. Sorry. Public relations is a team-based profession. We work in teams. Nobody goes it alone. You know, it just doesn't work that way in public relations. We have a graduate from 2 or 3 years ago. Her name is Carly Hummel. Great student. Graduated, went to work for Hill & Knowlton. She is now an account executive at Hill & Knowlton here in Southern California. Carly handles their Mazda account along with some other really big accounts. She is on 7 teams. Her whole day revolves around coordinating the actions of teams. Some of those teams are in Europe and she's here. So she's on Skype. She's on an interactive system they have in the office. She's on conference calls. She's in email. She's texting. She's doing all that stuff all the time to keep up with her teams because public relations is a team-based profession. So I realize you may be a little uncomfortable with being part of a team, but hey, this is a nice non-threatening environment to have that happen. Your team-based work in this class is going to involve a project at the end of the semester that we'll talk more about later. It's going to involve regular discussion questions through the semester. So you're going to have to interact with your team members, and somebody's going to need to post the team's response to discussion questions when they come up. That's in the calendar, and you can learn more about that as you look through the syllabus and calendar. So just get comfortable. I mean, this is your introduction to PR. This class is about telling you what this profession is, how it works, and where your place might be in it. And if you're not going to work in public relations and you know that, you'll still get a lot of value out of this class because you will be involved in public relations. Unless you're going to go off to a monastery and become a monk or a nun, unless you're going to go to Tibet and live in a cave and talk to rocks, you will be involved in public relations because it happens inside organizations, it happens outside organizations. It's people interacting with each other and interacting with the places where they work. It's also people interacting with places where they don't work. You have interactions with your church or your house of worship. That's public relations. We're having an interaction here right now. You have logged onto this video and you're watching it, and I'm giving you information, and I expect to see this information come back from you to me in some form in the future. That's public relations. So public relations is everywhere. We just have to learn about it, understand it, use it wisely and ethically, and that's what the point of this class is all about, whether you're a communications major or not. So look through the Titanium page, read the syllabus, go ahead and join a team. You can do that right away. There's a link in Titanium with all the directions. It shows you how to join a team. If you want to kind of preview what's coming up in this class, scroll all the way to the bottom, look at stuff. I really think you're going to enjoy this class. You're going to learn about PR. You're going to learn about communications in general. You will, in the course of the semester, we'll have discussions and we'll work on stuff, and it's like, boom, a light bulb will go on, and you'll go, now I get it. Now I get it. You know, some issue of media and culture that you just kind of took for granted before and never really thought about it. You're going to go, now I get it. I see why things are the way they are. And that's the enlightenment that I want to have come about in this class. So anyway, that's what I have for you right now. If you have any immediate questions, post them in FAQ, frequently asked questions in Titanium, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I look forward to our initial interactions in this class as we begin the process of learning about public relations and then seeing how we can apply it in our life personally and professionally. So I thank you very much for being part of this class. We will talk in the days and weeks to come.